Hello, my beautiful ones. Yes, it's me, the unique queen, once more. And I have some great news, some good news, and surprising news. I mean, yeah, after last night's serious talk, which I'm sure some of you have watched, some of you haven't, it's kind of nice to share something a little more lighthearted. Let's see here. One, I was just scrabbling around YouTube, and I found out that the Backstreet Boys have come back with another song called Don't Go Breaking My Heart. I was not expecting that one. I hadn't heard from the boys in 6 years, since 2012 when they were touring with New Kids on the Block. And they even did a mashup and duets with them, which I thought was pretty damn cool. Their mashup was hilarious, but it was also really awesome. And then the other good news I received was my K-pop prince, Kim Hyun-jun, is making a comeback in dramas after 4 years of not doing it. I mean, most of you, anyone who knows the story of Kim Hyun-jun and all the terrible things that happened to him, some of you may be on the fence about it. Some of you may believe it, some may not. But he was accused about 4 years ago of assaulting and beating his ex-girlfriend. And then because she accused him of lots of terrible things, not just beatings, but also of miscarriages, how she got her pregnant and then he beat her and she miscarried. Well, according to court evidence, everything that she accused him of was false. It was all lies. Every single one of them. Me? From the beginning, I believed it pretty much was a lie. It sounded to me like this woman just wanted money and her 15 minutes of fame. I mean, I felt so sorry for him. I honestly did. Because in my heart, I don't believe Kim Hyun-jun is a violent person. Yeah, okay, so he knows martial arts. And Inspiring Generation, he certainly showed it. Which was one of his dramas he did right before his enlistment in the military. But I want to believe that he's not capable of hurting a woman, or anyone for that matter, unless it's in self-defense or part of an act in one of his dramas or his videos. I know most of you probably don't believe it. Some of you think maybe he did it. I don't think he did. He doesn't seem like the type. I mean, I don't know the man, personally, anyway. Not that I wouldn't like to get to know him, because I would love to get to know him, to know the real him, not the person you see in the cameras or the person you hear about in his rather terrible stories with Miss Choi. But apparently he is making a drama comeback. I mean, he's already made a music comeback. He's been touring and even produced a new album in the last couple of years. So he's been making a music comeback. Now he's making a drama comeback. And I honestly will watch it. What Boys Over Flowers or Playful Kiss is. They're both Korean dramas. Boys Over Flowers was a story about 4 guys known as F4 who were the most popular and richest boys in school. Well, by some chance of luck, a very poor girl got into the school, even though the school was for the high class, rich people. Somehow she managed to get in. I forgot how. I think it was a scholarship of some sort. And, well, she wasn't the type to take bullying. She couldn't stand it. And when Junpyo, the leader of the F4, bullied one of her friends, she stood up to him. And Junpyo, Mr. Confused, thought that she liked him. And he was absolutely excited about the idea of a girl liking him. So he started doing all sorts of crazy things a rich boy could do, like give her clothing, put her to the house, make her look like a queen, all these things. Well, before that ever happened, she met his second in command, Ji-yu, who was a young boy who had had problems in the past. He dealt with a pretty traumatic childhood. Well, it seemed that every time Jeondae, the girl, got in trouble, Ji-yu would show up and save her. The first couple of times, it wasn't intentional. But then he just started appearing off and on until the point to where he started falling in love with Jeondae too. Well, actually, he first started falling in love with her. Junpyo was second. Well, she helped Jiyu with a lot of his problems, and she helped him get through a lot of things. During one of the episodes, she goes on a trip with Junpyo on a beach and along with the other F4 boys, just for the sake of, having some fun, because all of a sudden, all the F4 boys liked her. Not in love with her. Only 2 of them loved her, but the other 2 were accepting of her because of the fact that their leader and second in command both cared. Well, anyways, on this adventure, a fortune teller told Jeonde that she will love 2 men. One will be her future husband and true love, the other her soulmate. It turned out Jiyu was her soulmate, Junpyo was her true love. Which, personally, I thought that was a bit odd, because to me, your true love should be your soulmate. But hey, it's a drama. It's a fictional story that was so cute, I absolutely fell in love with Kim Hyun-jin's character, Jiyu. Yes, I got second lead syndrome, so they call it, because he was just way too sweet. Always appearing when she needed help, always kind, having fun with her. They even took wedding pictures together just for fun. I first fell in love with Kim Hyun-jin because of that drama. And then I started hearing the fact that he wasn't just an actor, he was a singer. And I started listening to SS501, the 5-member boy group that he was a member of. And I started listening to their music. And then he blew out into his own solo career, and I thought he was completely awesome. His song Unbreakable was probably one of my favorites of all time, and the video was awesome. I support Kim Hyun-jin. I still do. I think he's a wonderful person, and the fact that he's actually making a drama comeback after 4 years than most. And I truly did feel sorry for him. I still do. Such things should not happen to people. When you're an idol, you need to be careful of those you love or those you get involved with in your life, or trouble begins. I also adore Seven, who's another Korean pop boy. Problem is, he had a little incident in the military back in 2013 where he apparently went to a massage parlor that was popular for prostitution. It wasn't intentional, it was an accident, but he still got in a lot of trouble, and he's still having a hard time making a comeback now. Their stories were both tragic. The Backstreet Boys, not so much. They simply took time off to have families, get married, and, have children. And now here they are, another 6 years later, and they're doing another new song. Me? Totally up. I love the idea. I loved the Backstreet Boys back when they first began, and I still love them now. Just like I loved NSYNC back when it first began. And now Justin Timberlake's a complete solo artist, and he's absolutely awesome. He sold more as a solo artist than he did as a member of NSYNC. I've always crushed on Justin. He was my biggest crush in that group, and he still is. And personally, his wife is really damn lucky. Jessica, I envy you. You got one of the sweetest guys and best looking in the block. Not every artist who debuts as a group stays as a group. Many of them disband and break off. 2NE1, FX, Sistar, they're all both absolute awesome solo artists. I admire anyone who can be a musician or a celebrity or an idol. I admire them all because it takes a lot, especially Korean pop idols. They go through years and years of training just to be as good as they appear. There are some who were trainees for 10 years before they debuted. 10 years. That's a long time to train and wait to make a debut as a singer or a dancer. But I admire them because they held on that long and became really popular. Big Bang, Super Junior, JYJ, TVXQ. These were all awesome groups. JYJ was originally a member of TVXQ. And for some reason, Junsu, Jaejung, and Yuchun chose to leave TVXQ to where it became a duet of Changmin and Yoonho, which, by the way, they've done great as a duet. They did great as a 5-member group, but when they became a duet group, they still did just as good and have released several more albums since that time. JYJ, I believe it's released at least 2 albums since that time. But also, all three of their members have been very busy with their solo careers or other parts of their career. Junsu, Shia. He is now in his military enlistment, as by law, all Korean men have to enlist in the military before 35, I think it is, or maybe younger. Well, nowadays it's before 30. And but before he entered military enlistment, Junsu's solo career was blazing. Yeah, he had some controversy. Some of his dance moves on the stage were highly sexualized and not exactly proper for all audiences. But that boy's voice has always been unique. And he can hit those high notes like unbelievable. JYJ's song Get Out, Goodbye, you hear Junsu's amazing vocals. That boy can hit some notes that I would never have dreamed of. He is absolutely freaking awesome. But he's also done stage plays. Yeah, stage plays. Not, celebrity music videos, but actual plays where he stands on stage and sings and performs. Dracula was one he did for, I think it was 3 to 5 years. And then he also did one about Dorian Gray, two of the greatest legends of all time. Dorian Gray was well famous for his story of being immortally beautiful because of a painting. But the moment he saw that painting, that beauty would disappear and he would die. That was Dorian Gray's story. He started out as a pure, innocent boy and then became a bit of a psycho. I've honestly not gotten to see these performances, and I would love to. And I'm sure Shia pulled them off like nobody's business. But he did awesome. How many people can you say have done stage plays along with music videos, music stage groups? Not many. Stage plays have become kind of obsolete in a way, because most people don't want to see an actor perform on stage. They want to see him perform on the big screen. To them, stage plays are no big deal. They're part of history. Me, I love musicals. Stage plays are awesome to me. I've gotten to see so many awesome musicals. Some on stage, some on screen. I've seen all 3 High School Musicals. Yeah, okay. Like I said, I'm inner teenager. Definitely. And, I got to see actual plays on stage, like Little Shop of Horrors, Jekyll and Hyde, Phantom of the Opera. Let's see, what else have I seen? Phantom of the Opera I've seen, I think it's 3 times now. I love stage plays. They're just as awesome as a movie or an actual screen. They're so cool. They take just as much effort, time, and training as any of the popular silver screen crap you'll see. And I admire those who can do it. Shia did it great, according to what I've seen. And I've only seen bits and pieces of his Dracula play. But you see, that's the thing. Old art, I guess you would call it. I love older art. I'm a poet. You've seen my work. Poetry is no longer a big deal these days. Poetry, to most people, is songs, music albums released into the world. But every song, in all honesty, is a poem. Just with music. I write poetry without music. But it's a song too. I just don't have the kind of music to sing it for. Yeah, I used to sing a long time ago. When I was in junior high and high school, I was in choir. And yes, I could sing. I could even hit notes at Junsu's level. You could hear me above the whole choir even when I tried to dumb it down. But I've long since lost that voice. And yes, I would love to get it back. But there would be no point in it. I'm almost 35 years old. I'm too old to become an idol or to sing for cameras or people. That doesn't mean I don't still enjoy singing. I do sing. I just can't sing any of the high note stuff because my voice has long been faded. And it probably has something to do with the fact that I've started smoking at 19. I started drinking. I stopped taking my breathing exercises, my vocal exercises. I stopped doing everything I was trained for. Because after high school, I stopped singing. mean, I would sing with friends and joke around. I mean, then, I still liked Christian. I was still Christian, and I listened to Christian singers like Michael W. Smith or the group Plus One. I used to go into a church basement and sing Plus One songs with some of my older friends that I've known since childhood. I used to love to sing, and I still do. I just can't sing the way I used to. And that's my fault. I damaged my vocal cords. If I started doing my breathing exercises, vocal exercises, and I quit smoking, which I plan to, it's not yet done. I've quit once and gone right back. Addictions are really hard to kick. And I'm working on it. It just takes a little time. It actually takes a lot of time when it's an addiction. I'm not perfect, like I said. I have flaws. There are bad things, well, not necessarily bad things, just improper things about me. I'm not afraid to admit that I've messed up. I'm not afraid to admit that I have broken several hearts along my journey because I didn't know how to deal with my own broken heart that I received at 18. When you're first loved, you give him everything and he runs off with the very same girl he dumped you for one other time. Yeah, it gets to you because that's what happened to me. I fell in love at 16 and the boy and I really cared about each other. But then he dumped me out of the blue for another girl who he was friends with and who he'd been obsessed with for forever. And he went back to her, but she rejected him and he came back to me and I told him no. Yes, I made him cry, and I'm sorry, but he made me cry first. He hurt my feelings by the fact that he dumped me because he wanted another girl. For 2 years, he was my first love and my greatest. I chased him for 2 years, walking the night on the railroad tracks, going up to his work and visiting him when he had time to talk. And then right before my senior prom, he called me out and we spent time together. Yes, I admit I was with another man at the time. I was dating someone else. But I had never gotten over my first love. I had made a bad choice to date someone on the rebound when I was still in love with another man. Well, after that night, he never called me or talked to me or got back to me. And I had to go on a trip into Florida to see my dad for several weeks. I expected him to call me, talk to me, ask me something, do something. He never did. So I went uptown and I confronted him about it. I was like, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you talk to me? He's like, well, I really don't. He made excuses. And then 2 weeks later, I see him driving in town with the very same girl he dumped me for at 16. But this girl had come out of a very bad situation. Apparently, she'd been married to an abusive man and she was pregnant at the time. Plus, the girl herself was a good friend of mine, too. And I was sorry that she had to go through so much. I really don't want anybody to ever suffer like that. And I was still her friend. It didn't matter to me. It's not like I'm going to dump a friend just because we ended up dating the same guy. Well, my first love ended up marrying this girl. And they've been married for 16 years now. And they seem really happy. And I am totally happy for them. I mean, yeah, back then when you're 18 and 16, it damages you. Emotionally, sometimes mentally. And he made me, after that first event, he made me feel like I wasn't worth loving. And I started making a lot of mistakes, doing a lot of crazy things that, well, nobody should do. You try to fill that void left in your life when somebody breaks your heart. I filled it with alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs. Yeah, I'll admit it. I experimented when I was younger. I won't tell you with what. I don't do that crap now. I stopped doing drugs a long time ago, and I won't ever do them again. I have no use for them. You can check my blood, you can check my urine tests, you can do all you want. But after I went into the military, I stopped. I have not done it because I don't want to. It's not worth it. What use is it? All it does is alter your state of mind. And I was a 19-year-old girl suffering from her first and only heartbreak. I'm a better person now. It doesn't mean that I was perfect before. I mean, back when I was a kid, sure. I was an innocent sweetheart teacher's pet. Yes, I'll admit it. I was a teacher's pet. But when I hit 18, 19, I became a rebel of the biggest kind. I started wearing clothes more form-fitting and showing off my body, including the fact that I had a chest. Yes, I do. And I will proudly admit the fact that I do have a chest. I'm not ashamed. Why should I be? Girls should be happy if they have a nice bosom. Nothing to be embarrassed about. There's no reason. And plus, everybody knows guys like boobs. Come on. It's a given. Most males are boob guys. But you also got guys who are butt guys. That's up to them. But you see, that's the thing, though. I became flawed and started turning differently because I got hurt. I was in pain. And I was trying to cover with things I shouldn't cover it with. That's my shame. My mistake. But I'm better now. I just couldn't deal with my emotions, and that's why I hurt so many other people in my process of growing and learning and discovering who I was. Now I know who I am. Yeah, most people will spend their entire life and never know who they truly are. But I know who I am. I'm a unique queen with a very diverse personality and a diverse taste in music, clothes, just about everything. I'm different, and I'd rather be different. Sure, I pulled the same stuff other girls have pulled. There was a time I wasn't different. I was just like everybody else. Screw that. I am happy the way I am. And sure, if I want to lose a few more pounds, I'll be happy about it. I mean, I'm pretty skinny now. I've lost quite a bit of weight over the last couple of months. And I'm happy. I can actually do a bikini justice. As if I'd ever have an opportunity to wear a bikini. No. I don't go swimming very much. I don't really have the time or money. And plus, I mean, the nearest swimming pool, there's a swimming pool here in Edwardsville, sure. But I don't know how much it costs to get in, and I'm not really interested in going to a public pool. I would rather spend my time right now. Honestly, I want a vacation. I want to go to Florida and spend time on an actual beach. See the ocean, enjoy it. Because I have seen the ocean before, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I even collect seashells once. But I can't do that right now. I did just start this job a couple months ago, and I'm still working on it. Walmart may not be the best job, and yes, I'm overqualified for the position. But it gets me the money I need to find my own place, my own space, a place where I can go by myself, be me, and not have anybody tell me what to do, interfere in my life, or me interfere in theirs. You know, I can't wait till I move. You know, have a quiet place to go where I can contemplate everything. Yeah, I have times in nostalgia where I go back to those times in the past where I was a very different girl. And yeah, I do know an apology to several guys because I did hurt you and I didn't mean to. But I myself was hurting at the time and I wasn't quite sure how to respond to everything. So I truly am sorry for that. I'm not ever going to live down my history. Everybody has a history. But honey, that's exactly what it is. History. Leave it there. Leave the past in the past. Move on. I did. I got tired of living in the past, living with feeling like I was unworthy of love or unworthy of a man holding on to me. Or me holding on to a man. I mean, yeah, it's really hard for me to find a man to date. Not just because I really don't have time or circumstance for it, but also because I haven't yet found a man that fits me. I am a unique woman, and I think the only person that would make me happy would be a unique man. Unique and gifted or beautiful, it doesn't matter. It would have to be someone who could hold on to me and make me feel like I'm worth loving, but also not make me want to stray or cheat or go to another guy because I get bored with him. That's my biggest problem. I get bored. Because guys, not all guys change pattern or do different things, and I need diversity in my life. I am an adventurous. I have been adventurous since I was young. I can't stay in a place more than a couple of years because I get bored. I want to move on. I want to go to other places, do other things. which this is where my contradictive personality comes in contact. I am huge on adventure, but yet I also want stability. I want a place of my own, a male of my own that's not going to hurt me or me hurt him or us not want to be together because we get bored with each other. I don't want all this. A stable relationship, a stable job, a stable life. Yet, I also have that gypsy soul in me where I want to go on adventures. I want to travel places all over the world like I have done. I've already traveled in different places, but I want to travel more places. I want to see more. Because what's the point of living if you don't take a few risks? I'm not saying risk your life. Good God. I would never jump out of a plane. I would never go bungee jumping. I wouldn't jump off a cliff. Screw all that crap. That's just scary as hell. No, forget it. But going to new cities, new countries, trying new foods, new styles. A lot of the clothing style I wear, like I said, goth, emo, call it a variation. I also have a bit of a punk in me. And a lot of my clothing choices have been inspired by my K-pop artists. And my J-rock artists. Gakt Kamai. Oh. Many of my outfits I wore in college were inspired by him. Like, one of his outfits in his movie Moonchild was pure black, like a black t-shirt, black leather pants, and boots, and a pure white trench coat. I love that style, and I had a white trench coat. Actually, I still have one. And when I was in college, I used to wear my hair in a ponytail and wear that kind of style because I wanted to look a bit like Gakt, or at least a bit like the clothing style, because I liked his style. I wanted to wear a style like that. No, I wouldn't do micro braids. Sorry, my hair doesn't fit well with those. But still, my style is just me. Rocking the bracelets. Like, I'll wear 2 or 3 bracelets at a time, 2 or 3 necklaces at a time, a choker, earrings, rings. I'll wear a ring on every finger if I want. That's my choice, my style. I do wear short shorts, but honey, I'm not going to wear Daisy Dukes. I'm sorry. I don't want to show my butt off to the world. Forget it. But I don't mind short shorts as long as they're tasteful. And I won't step out in public without a bra unless, I'm wearing a bikini or a swimsuit. Something that requires me not to wear a bra. I've seen girls these days, young girls, teenagers in their early 20s, wearing no bra in public. In the tank top that shows the fact that they're not wearing one. Apparently, it's become popular because of some pop artist or something running around in public without a bra. Yeah, there are benefits to not wearing a bra, yes. I will tell you that. I don't like wearing bras very often. When I'm at home, I usually don't. I usually just chill out in one of my tank tops. But I'm not going to go out in public and show my breasts off without a bra. I am too big for that. And when I walk, it's rather obvious if I'm not wearing something to hold me. I see all these young girls running around these fashions, and I'm like, are you crazy? Honey, you are too young to be sexualizing yourself. You are sexy just the way you are. You don't have to show it off. You don't have to show your ass off in some Daisy Dukes or show off your boobs in a tank top without a bra. You don't need to do that. That's just for grabbing attention. You don't need that. You grab attention with your personality, with who you are, with your gifts, what you do. You don't need to show off the rest of yourself. Modesty can be a good thing. Not all men want to see all you got the first time they meet you. Some of them want you to remain a little bit of a mystery. And that's fine. I like doing that. I like remaining a little bit of a mystery to a guy that I'm interested in dating. Because what good does it do to know all my secrets? Doesn't do any good. Let him discover a few things. Discovery is part of the adventure of a relationship. You discover each other physically, mentally, emotionally. You discover each other. That's what you do. That's a whole part of building trust in a relationship and communication. By the way, communication is the biggie. If you want a good relationship, Communicate. Talk. If something is bothering you or your partner, have them talk to you or you talk to them. If there's a fight going on, sit down, talk about it. Don't scream, yell, and cuss each other out. Calmly sit, calmly talk. Try to understand what's going on. Try to compromise if you can. Compromise, communication. These are the two biggies in a relationship. Sometimes you've got to change a little bit of your details to fit in better with what your relationship chooses. Yes, I am always the person to tell you don't ever change yourself. And you don't always have to. You can compromise a little. Change a little bit of this, change that. Even small details just change. Don't change your entire personality, no. Don't change your entire style, no. Don't appear in a modest dress in front of a businessman when, in all naturality, you'd rather go running around in a tank top and shorts and wear comfortable clothes. Don't try to be all Miss Prim and Proper if that's not really you. Me, I can be prim and proper because I want to be. I choose to be prim and proper, or I choose to be wild as you please. And I don't do it to suit the taste of a man or anyone. I do it to suit my mood. Not all businessmen are going to want a girl who's all serious and talks business and she looks like she's totally mature. That's like a big lie. Okay, hold on. I'll talk to you babies later. Bye, beautiful ones.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the conversation. This is mail call.
Thanks. Oh, it's a live stream.
Oh.